In the dynamic sphere of social media in Sierra Leone, it is no secret that two women are currently involved in a dispute over a man. One of these women is claiming the status to be a legal wife, and the other is described as a concubine. Being that this program concerns and touches around the realm of law and its applicability in our day-to-day life, I would like to but before going further, I would like to make this as a disclaimer. This program or session is meant for self-edification only, not for any other purpose. Welcome to your Legal Learning Hub, where complex law meets clear explanation. I am Fode Emeritus Kama, your legal healthite. Follow me on WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and out of my YouTube channel. The law is a beautiful thing. As mentioned earlier, what does the law say about this? I will examine the legal implication of such, and I will explore the relevant statutory, customary, and Islamic legal framework to determine the legal and recognition of each party that is affordable in the Sierra Leonean. So now, to start with, in Sierra Leone, marriage law operates within a dual system. That is to say, statutory marriage law and that of the customary marriage law. For the statutory marriage law comprises of what? The Christian Marriage Act Cap 95, and that of what? The Civil Marriage Act Cap 97. Whereas for the customary law comprises of what? The Mohammedan Act by the Court Act of 2011. Now 96, and recognize also in a circumstance or in a situation wherein a man contracted a statutory marriage and purports or decided to take another woman as an additional wife, be it statutory or customary, during the existence of the statutory marriage, commits a crime called bigamy, as provided for in section 57 of the Offense Against the Persons Act of 1916. And it also contravenes the provision set out the Christian Marriage Act Cap 95 and that of the Civil Marriage Act Cap 97. So, connecting this principle to that of the woman who is claiming the status of a wife. So, let me say, if the marriage which was contracted by the woman and that of the man is said to be a marriage that was contracted by statutory law, then the law will stop the man from going further to take any other woman as a wife. If he refused and proceed to take another wife, then he commits a crime called bigamy, which is a crime that's criminal in nature. But however, if the marriage entered into by the husband and that of the woman who is claiming the status of a legal wife is that of the one which was contracted customary, to be specific, under the Mohammedan Act that got its inspiration from the Sharia law, then the man is at liberty to contract multiple marriage, at most 4, depending if the man is able to take care of these women and treat them equitably. The law holds it that in a situation where a man enters into a statutory marriage and decides to enter into another marriage, be it a statutory or customarily, the law will stop that man not to proceed. Failure to oblige in this regard, then he will commit a crime that is criminal in nature, known as bigamy, as provided for in section 57 of the Offense Against the Persons. To understand this concept proper, the law holds it that if the first marriage which was contracted was that of a one that was contracted under statutory law, then the law will stop you to proceed or to take another man or woman as a wife or a husband during the existence of that statutory marriage. This was also emphasized or expressed in the case of R.V. Amposa, 1953. The African Court of Appeal held that a man who has entered into a statutory marriage and decides to marry customarily commits a crime of bigamy. That is to say, if you have entered into a statutory marriage during that existence of that marriage and you decided to enter into another marriage, be it statutory or customary, then you have committed a crime, and that crime is criminal in nature, which is bigamy. It is important to point or note that a man or a woman who have entered or contracted a statutory or customary marriage and it is proven that that man or that woman has a multiple relationship outside the marriage, do not commit a crime. Oh yes, do not commit a crime. But here is the catch. However, such an act by the husband or the wife will be used as a grounds for divorce, as provided for or established in section 5 of the Matrimonial Causes Act of Cap 102, the laws of Sierra Leone. So, section 5 of the Matrimonial Causes Cap 102 provides for grounds for divorce. So, connecting this provision to that of the situation between the two women who are currently fighting over a man and the woman who is claiming the status of a legal wife, can use this provision to file for divorce if she is desirous to do. But if she is not, then the man do not commit a crime. That is to say, a crime that will put him in prison or where he will ask for fine. So she can only use that as a grounds for divorce, for which section 5 provides that if there is cruelty or there is desertion at least a period of of 3 years, or there is adultery, or there is an evidence that since the celebration of the marriage, the man is guilty of rape, sodomy, or partiality, then you can use that to file. So in a nutshell, it is important to note that when entering into marriage, if the marriage you contracted was that of a one, which is statutory, then during the existence of this marriage, you are stopped, be it a man or woman, not to enter into any form of marriage, be it customary or otherwise. But however, if you enter into a contract for marriage for which is that of what a customary one, then you are at liberty to choose or to have multiple women